educator, patriot, and author, Miss Professor Dr. Cielito Habito.
Thank you so much. Thank you, dear friend Bart. Well, I'm really overwhelmed because this is the closest one gets to hearing his own eulogy while still alive. So it's really quite touching to be hearing such kind words from everybody, especially people that I really hold in very high esteem. And I guess this response is really to thank everybody, and let me name some of the notable ones that I should thank. I would like to, of course, acknowledge first that we put together a program that tries to cover the wide range of social and political and professional circles rather that I move around in. And unfortunately, I could not include everybody, but I did want to mention that I have my Philippine Science High School classmates here with us today as well. One of them even coming all the way from the United States. My colleagues, because I currently sit as an independent director in the Metrobank Card Corporation. I think they're also here in full force, including the president himself, Mr. Cielito Habito. Also the Operation Compassion International, which is an NGO that I head as chair. I see at least one of our members here. Two. Okay. Also the Brain Trust Inc., which is actually the think tank that I had along with some like-minded colleagues from different sectors. And some of them are also here. Another one is, I should mention, WWF Philippines, another group that I am proud to be part of. Of course, Jaime Augusto is also very much with us there. The Galing Po Foundation, which is the body that awards what I call the Oscar Award for local governments. The FSGO, perhaps sometimes controversial, the former senior government officials group. Bangon Pilipinas, and I think I saw Brother Eddie Villanueva here. He's still around. There he is. Brother Eddie, please take a bow. I'm so pleased that Brother Eddie is here because he just came from abroad and is still suffering from jet lag, I'm sure. So he's so kind enough to be here. And Pagbabago at Pilipinas, which includes Bart and Rhea and Guido and many others here, Tito. Insight Gov is another group that I belong to. And the Knights of Columbus, I don't think any of my Knights of Columbus brothers in Los Baños are able to come today. The Bukas Loob sa Diyos Community and the Cabriba Foundation, among others. You can see that I'm spread rather thinly. And I think this is the reason why I have to contend with 8 of the groups in being represented here. Anyway, I'd like to thank, first of all, Bishop Deo Flores, and unfortunately, Commissioner Ide Tila was not able to make it, but in his place we have Father Luke Mortgat, who is actually here, and he was the one who actually joined the prayer. Thank you very much. I must thank Sandy, and of course, Ma'am Marixie Prieto, the chair and the president, respectively, of the Inquirer group of companies, and of course, my publisher, JB. I should acknowledge, you see here, Dax Lucas, who was the editor of this book. Is Dax in here? Anyway, he in fact was the one who made sense of the manuscript that I submitted to them. I should also acknowledge Bianca Casilan, who's helped put this whole affair together. Bianca, take a bow. Somewhere there at the back. And then let me just run through. I mean, I really am quite appreciative that Les Catello, who started out as my assistant instructor, but now is chair of the Department of Economics in UPLB. Thank you so much for honoring me. Coffee Templo, of course, one of my favorite generals, as we call them in NEDA. Everybody in NEDA with a title that has general at the end, we call them generals, and we have a generals meeting in my town every Monday. So, Ofi, you're still there. Thank you so much. Wally Belen, I esteem so much because he's one of the most effective teachers of economics in the economics department. And as I said, he has taught presidents and various politicians and leaders of society. I must say a special note of thanks to George Wilson, Georgina Wilson. She did want to come here. She was in fact intending to come here. because at the time that she first said yes, her manager had not yet scheduled her for a TV commercial shooting out of town. Unfortunately, that's what took her away. But she was so kind to make a video recording on her iPhone that she could send, and so we can hear her today. Bart Gingona, my dear, dear friend, and obliging with both song and MCing. I cannot thank you enough, Bart. Sam Gutok-Tumawis, who had a very great pleasure of working with in the Mindanao 2020 plan. And we continue to be working with each other, as I now I'm also advising the new ARM governor. Guido Delgado, of course, many things to me, former student, colleague, dear friend as well. And of course, Jaime Augusto, whom I esteem very highly. And I always say that if all business CEOs had a heart and social conscience of Jaime Augusto, we would not have an Occupy Wall Street movement anywhere. Secretary Dick Abad, and he occasionally tells me that he has had the president read my column. So I think through him, thank him, he's able to bring some of my thoughts to the president. And of course, I reserve the last to my esteemed and very much admired former boss. And I think he's the best team captain. President Ramos, I'd like you to hear this. You're the best team captain that this country has ever had. Playing team captain like that. Of course, again, there's so many other people to thank. The people behind the scenes, our staff there, Carissa, who helped out. Of course, my daughters, Monica and Carmel, also helped out. My sons. Anyway, I don't want to prolong this further, but I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for all the trust that you have given me, both by reading my column and both by also engaging me as your professional partners. And I think this only drives me to even greater desire and resolve to try even more, to do what I see to be one of my most important missions, which is indeed to communicate economics to the wider audience. And this is really the intent of the column, the intent of the book, and to the extent that I have been effective on that, as I said in my foreword, I really owe it to my parents, Dr. Cielito Habito, who was a college professor, and my mother, Faustino Flores Habito, who was a public school teacher all of her professional life. I was one of educators, and I think that somehow rubbed off on me, as well as my siblings, by the way, some of whom are here. My youngest brother is here, Select, now working with Asia Foundation. All of us actually ended up with careers, at least partially, in teaching, and I think to the credit of my parents. So I just wanted to give tribute to my father and my mother for that. And finally, of course, to Almighty God, because all of this has come from the Almighty. And I think we should not forget that all things that are good really just come from one source. So thank you very much to all of you, and God bless us all, and God bless our country. Maraming salamat po.